Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at a super new release that didn't come out a while ago. No, I got this from my buddy, so I figured I'd review it for you guys, and it was just sitting around. I'm tired of it sitting around, so I thought I'd review it and get it put away. This is the Arctic Mission Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe Classified series from Hasbro. A lot of people love it. Some people don't love it due to the corniness of the look. I'm kind of indifferent, though I will say, the look on the box right there with the white biceps and the black in the middle and all the extra details going on here with the black torso, way cooler looking than what we got here with no detail in the upper chest and then the snow pattern on there. Don't like that. That looks awesome. Anyway, the figure's got some good stuff and some bad stuff, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Just before I get rid of the package, I figure I'll show you again up close. The box art looks way nicer than the figure. And also, Arctic Mission, why is his yellow so tan? It's a very tan looking yellow. Don't care for that. Or yellow, it's white. I think I said yellow instead of white. I meant his white is very yellow or tan, but you get my point. It doesn't look white. Okay, so let's do a height measurement. Let's get things going here. He stands to the top of his giant hood about 6 3/8, but to the top of his head is closer to just 6 inches, roughly. And that's going to make him pretty close to, I don't know, 15 and a half and then 16 and a half, roughly. He seems pretty small, and he's a little bit shorter than Darwin if you count his actual head. Like, look where his face is. But the hood is freaking huge. It's huge. Alright, let's do a quick comparison against a very similar character design here. My hood doesn't look that huge on a tiny little head. Huh. It can be done. Yeah, this guy's in scale with Marvel Legends. This guy's not. This guy's tiny. I know the Joe line isn't technically in scale with Marvel Legends, but it's weirdly proportioned. Look how big his hood is. Oh my goodness, that's a big hood. That's so strange. Okay, let's do a question of the day. Are you a fan of this design for Storm Shadow? For the figure, not like the artwork that we've seen that looks way better? For me, I'm just not. Doesn't do it for me. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's get into the aesthetic. The white yellow needs to be white. That's a big one. And then all the detail work in the chest and everything needs to be done. I'm guessing this is based on like a classic toy, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. The way it looks is just blah. So blah, with the off color and then the lack of detailing. If I repainted this to match the box art, I'd love it aesthetically, other than the giant hood, but it's just not doing it for me at all like this. It looks so cheap. It looks so cheap. The eyes look good. Like, the face part looks really nice. I like that a whole bunch. The little logo on the chest is okay. A little bit of gold detailing on there is fine, but it's so just monotone. Everything is blah. And then the paintwork on the lower legs is there, but it's so basic. Not working for me. Not pleased with this. The arms are just solid colors other than the little fake snow pattern on there. Not a fan of the look on this guy, unfortunately, so I'm going to give it only a 6 out of 10. It's not well executed. I don't think it is. And that might be just because it's based on an old toy, and if that's the case, then fine, then just, you don't have to worry about the 6 out of 10 because you know what it's based on and it looks good to you. But as a standalone release, it does not look good. Okay. Now, as far as the accessories go, no alternate hands, which is kind of a bummer. Just 2 trigger finger hands. It's pretty strange. We do get his bow, which has some gold paint on it. That's okay. No string or anything. We get the quiver, which is actually really nicely detailed. I mean, relatively speaking, so that's good. We get the sword holder, which I guess is some kind of scabbard. A little bit of a strange look. And we also get the sword, which is fairly nicely done. We get a comma, which is just solid white plastic. We get an arrow, which is also solid white plastic that doesn't match the arrows in the quiver. What the heck? Is this because it's trying to be the old retro toy mixed with a new toy? I think they should just make a new version that's not trying to be the old version, if that's the case, where all the accessories match. That'd be cool. And then we get a grappling hook, which is also solid off-white plastic with actual rope on it. That's kind of cool. So yeah, the accessories, again, I get the idea that they're going for the old thing, so it's all just solid white plastic, But also then we have the quiver that looks really good and the bow that looks okay. So it's not working for me. They're somewhere in between again, rather than committing to being retro or committing to being a modern take. So 7 out of 10 for the accessories. Also, no hands other than trigger finger hands. Also, his proportions seem pretty weird, not just because the head being too big with the hood, but the arms seem kind of long, legs seem kind of shrimpy, lower legs seem kind of long. We'll see. Okay, so let's talk about the articulation. We're going to take this off because it's just too dang big. Also, you guys remember when I reviewed the new Storm Shadow and I said if you put the hood on the wrong way it looks like Kenny from South Park? Do a lot of people not watch with the audio on? Because there's so many people in the comments telling me that I put the hood on wrong, when I put it on wrong on purpose and said so on camera. I'm putting it on the wrong way because it looks funny. Then they corrected me. That's the wrong way. I know. This one doesn't do that, unfortunately, though. Okay, so here it is without the hood. The head still seems a little bit big, honestly. Okay, so articulation-wise, we have a hinge and a ball peg at the top of the neck. The bottom of the neck is on a ball peg, but you're mostly going to get forward and back motion. He looks up decent, looks down okay, side to side is fine, a little bit of attitude, not much, it'll do. We do have a butterfly joint which offers some range, but it's pretty loose, it's not great. Bringing the arms up. Oh, the shoulder pads are connected to the arm, so that's good, but they still kind of get in the way. Let's see how much. Can we raise the arms? Yeah, you can. So that's good. I like the way they did the shoulder pads. I thought that was going to be a lot more clumsy than it is. That's nice. I like that. You do get your full rotation as a result of the shoulder pads connecting separately, so that's good. Bicep swivel is fine, though a little gappy. And then the double jointed elbow is fine. And then the wrists have... This one's on a vertical hinge, and this one is also on a vertical hinge, so I like that. That's pretty good. And of course a swivel. Diaphragm joint is a floppy mess, big time. That's not good. It has one notch going back, still floppy. One notch going forward, still floppy. So that's no good. We do get our ball peg at the waist, which does allow him to lean forward and back even more and side to side, and it's not floppy, but this one being floppy, so floppy at the top, it's not good. His skirt piece is all one piece. Let's see if it gets in the way too much. It does float a little bit, so that's fine, but doesn't have much room to go anywhere. So bringing the legs forward. Yeah, this being connected right here kills it. That should be separated where that pouch is, because you can't bring the leg forward. That sucks. Bringing this leg forward is a little bit better, almost horizontal. We do have the hinged ball pegs, and he has a huge drop down, which it still doesn't afford much. Oh, please stop doing the hinged ball pegs. They're so cumbersome, and look how wide his hips are. This guy's not built right. His torso is so skinny compared to his hips. If you bring him down using those hinges, it helps a little bit to narrow his hips, but they're still out of place. The proportions are so bad on this release. Going out to the side, you get full-on splits, so that's nice. If you want that, that's okay. Thigh swivel is your standard thigh swivel. The legs don't go back at all. Double jointed knee. Let's do it on this leg where we can actually see it. Decent range. You can see the lower leg is a little bit too long for the upper leg, but not too much. You generally want the foot and this whole section right here to be the same length as the top section. Not the butt, but the whole leg part. So it's a little bit long, a little bit out of proportion, but not too bad. There is no boot swivel. The ankle goes pretty far back. That's cool. Not very far forward, and it's kind of a steep rocker, so it's not great. So his articulation's pretty iffy. It's like almost like it's there technically, but it's not executed well, and it's floppy, and there's a lot of problems. So he's not great. He's nowhere near as good as the contemporary Storm Shadow figure. This one's a problem for me. I'm going to give the articulation a 6 out of 10, and that's kind of being generous given how floppy and messy it is. So, final verdict on this release. If you already have this one, I'm guessing you know that it's based on something and that's why you got it. But if you were just thinking it's a cool figure I might pick up someday, hopefully this review helps you in that you know it's not very good. It's not a very good release, which is unfortunate because it has the potential to be one. It's just really not. And let me pop this hood back on to give you the full effect. To me, that looks terrible. Really, really terrible. The proportioning is so bad. So I'm going to give it a final rating of 6 out of 10. There's some good ideas here, but it's just such a half-assed thing overall. Between the half accessories being painted, half not, the figure being floppy and not painted well, and not being able to pose well, and being out of proportion, it's not a good release overall. So there it is. Sorry for you G.I. Joe fans who really thought this was cool. I have to do my reviews honestly, and just because it's a ninja that has a, in theory, cool design doesn't make it a good figure. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.